This year's been an abundant year for blueberries. We've been freezing them, making them into jam, and canning them, in addition to just eating them, which we've been doing a lot of. I want to experiment with cold packing blueberries, which is just taking raw blueberries and putting a syrup around them and then boiling them to can them. But I don't want to add extra sugar to them, so I have here some blueberries which I'm heating up to use as the syrup instead of making a sugar solution. I'm just going to use an immersion blender to get these all nice and very smooth. Now that this has reached a boil, and I have added a little bit of water to it, I'm going to ladle it into the jars. The water so it is a little bit thinner so it gets down between the blueberries. And these jars have been sanitized by pouring boiling water over them. And I'm making sure to cover the blueberries with this sauce. After making sure all the air bubbles were removed and wiping down the rims to provide a better seal, I'm going to screw tops onto these. These are just old reused tops from other stuff, but they fit and work. I'm going to place them in a hot water bath. Once this returns to a boil, they need to stay in here for 20 minutes. And I need to add a bit more hot water because the tops are not covered. And though I started with the goal of making 3 jars, I only had enough sauce for filling 2. So after waiting 6 months, I'm going to open up these cold packed blueberries to see how they are. And I'd previously looked at these beforehand and they didn't look bad on the outside. Smells like blueberries. It doesn't smell bad. There's no mold on it, and it looks good. I'm going to taste it. The idea of cold packing isn't a new one, but normally what is done is that a syrup of sugar is poured around the cold blueberries, whereas what I did was I poured the syrup of just the blueberries around them, so I didn't have to add a ton of sugar to this because I don't like adding sugar, and besides, blueberries are free and sugar costs money. So let's give this a taste. Really just tastes like stewed blueberries, which is I guess what it is exactly. It doesn't taste bad. Maybe has a slight vinegary flavor to it, but it's very slight. Um, yeah, I don't really know how to describe it. I'm going to try to taste on some bread just to have a bit of a flavor contrast to it. It's definitely very bland compared to jams, which do have a considerable amount of added sugar. Um, but I think it'd go great mixed in with like yogurt or oatmeal or something like that. Um, so I don't have that much to say other than to say that this appears to be a success. And I think I might try it again next year if we have bountiful blueberries. Oh, the other thing I should say is that I don't expect this to last that long in the fridge, because the more sugar something has in it, the longer it will last, and this has a relatively low amount of sugar, so I'm going to have to make sure to eat this up fairly quickly, compared to like a jam, which will last for probably much longer. I don't know how long this will last in the fridge, and I don't intend to find out. I intend to eat it up before it goes moldy. Um, so yeah,